What's up, everyone? Today I'm in the beautiful town of Goderich, Ontario. Located on the shores of Lake Huron, this looks like any other small Canadian town. But this charming lakeside town holds the key to one of the world's most impressive industrial operations. You see, Goderich is home to the Sifto salt mine, which is surprisingly the largest underground salt mine in the world. And as always, this is Ali, and welcome back to Urban Atlas. Before we descend into the depths of the Sifto salt mine, let's appreciate what's above. Lake Huron is the second largest of the Great Lakes by surface area, covering over 60,000 square kilometers or 23,000 square miles. And what makes Lake Huron unique among the Great Lakes is its incredible clarity and the fact that it's actually connected to Lake Michigan through the Straits of Mackinac. Hydrologically, they're considered one lake system, and the lake reaches depths of up to 750 feet or 229 meters deep. But that's nothing compared to what we'll find under the surface. The town of Goderich sits on Lake Huron's eastern shore, perfectly positioned at the mouth of the Maitland River. Founded in 1827, this town has a population of about 7,500 people. And Goderich's real claim to fame was discovered by accident. A local businessman by the name of Samuel Platt was drilling for oil when his drill hit something unexpected. At approximately 1,000 or 305 meters down, they hit a massive bed of pure rock salt. And how the salt got there is equally interesting. You see, about 400 million years ago, during the Silurian period, this entire region was covered by a vast, shallow, tropical sea. And as climate patterns shifted from hot to cold, this ancient sea began to evaporate repeatedly. And each time the water receded, it left behind layers of salt, gypsum, and other minerals. And this process repeated countless times over millions of years, creating what geologists call the Salina group. These salt beds, reaching up to 100 feet or 30 meters thick, were then buried under layers of limestone, shale, and other sedimentary rock. The pressure from above compressed the salt into incredibly pure rock salt formations. And the Goderich salt deposit is part of a much larger formation that extends across the Great Lakes. But what makes Goderich's mine special is the exceptional purity of its salt, often 98% pure sodium chloride, and of course its incredible size. We're talking about salt beds that maintain their thickness and purity across a very large area, all sitting about 1,800 feet or 550 meters below Lake Huron's floor. Today, the Goderich mine is operated by Compass Minerals, and it's truly a marvel of engineering. The mine extends 7 square kilometers, roughly the size of the town, all carved out from solid rock salt. The journey to the mining floor begins with a 10-minute elevator ride down a vertical shaft that drops approximately 1,800 feet or 550 meters straight down. That's about the height of the CN Tower, and you're traveling beneath the waters of Lake Huron itself. I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds like a very difficult job. So much respect to the people who work in these conditions. And of course, once you reach the bottom, you enter a completely different world. The mine has over 100 miles or 161 kilometers of tunnels, some wide enough for 2 transport trucks to pass each other. The temperature in the mine stays a constant 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius year-round. And I know what you're probably thinking. What are the chances of the mine collapsing and the mine being flooded under the weight of Lake Huron itself? But the salt formation is incredibly stable, and there's 400 feet of solid rock between the mining operations and the lake bottom. And the safety record speaks for itself. The scale of equipment needed for this operation is staggering. Load-haul dump vehicles that can carry up to 20 tons of salt navigate these tunnels like underground highways. Everything from bulldozers to maintenance shops exists in this subterranean world. Once blasted, the salt is crushed and screened through different sizes right there in the mine. From fine table salt to large chunks for industrial use, it's all processed in this underground facility before even being hoisted to the surface. And this single mine produces over 7 million tons of salt annually. That's enough to fill about 280,000 transport trucks. It supplies road salt to much of eastern North America's and industrial salt all around the world. Like I mentioned previously, the mine sits in a salt bed that's naturally impermeable to water, Above the salt, there's a 400-foot or 122-meter layer of solid rock that acts as a natural barrier. Scientists confirm that the geological stability of this formation has been proven over more than 150 years of mining. There's never been any evidence of water infiltration or environmental impact on Lake Huron from these operations. Continuous monitoring systems track everything from ground movement to air quality. Water wells around the mine are regularly tested, and the operation is subject to strict environmental regulations from both Canadian and provincial authorities. Lake Huron's ecosystem remains pristine, supporting diverse fish populations and serving as a critical water source for millions of people. The mine's environmental footprint on the surface is surprisingly small, just the processing facility and the shaft entrances. And thus, for the small town of Goderich above, the salt mine isn't just an industrial operation, it's the economic backbone of the community. The mine directly employs over 200 people, with many more jobs dependent on this industry throughout the region. It's safe to say that without this mine, Goderich would be a fundamentally different place. Beyond direct employment, the mine generates millions in tax revenue, and it supports local suppliers and creates a ripple effect throughout the regional economy. It's estimated that each mining job supports 3 additional jobs in the community. The salt from this mine doesn't just stay local, it's shipped across North America and around the world, making this small Ontario town a player in global markets. During winter, Goderich salt helps keep roads safe from Toronto to New York City. Today, the Goderich mine is operated by a company called Compass Minerals, and it's a true marvel of engineering, and it's right here in southern Ontario. A small reminder that sometimes some of the world's most amazing things are located right in your backyard. And as always, if you like content like this, remember to give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.